Barfly, and I'm like, okay, which way do I go? You know, like. So then I was like, then you guys all became like the Connie Chung and like the news group. And I was like, dude, I know the most shit, dude. Like, I'll hang out with you guys, you know, like, I'll be Cindy Swan, you know, like the hometown, you know. And I was like, dude, you guys should have let me part of your guys' group, you know, like, been hard working for you guys' group. And then I seen who posted pictures. Oh, I seen Skeeter post pictures of their like group. And I was all, hey, that's that one group that tried to take figure everything out too, because everybody had their own little groups, you know, growing up in Covelo. Like, oh, here we go, you know, we're gonna fix everything. All Crusaders, everyone's fighting. Who's doing what, you know? Anybody? I was like, oh yeah, that's my babysitting crew, you know. I think that was let's see, that Bats guy, there's Skeeter, was it Julia and Jolie? I don't know, one of them. They all had their little group, you know, and they were trying to figure things out. So, but anyway, I just like to say good morning, you know, and like what do I got? So they don't come beat me up, you know, torment me. I have a disability. I have Hashimoto because they took my kids illegally. So I'm actually have a disability. And the doctor said, you know, because Hashimoto is like something when you lose a child, like you have an abortion or you have a miscarriage or something. But because my kids were taken illegally, and I know that, it was like I had an abortion for 4 kids. So my Hashimoto, it's permanent. ICWA, the health center, the tribe, the people up there gave me a permanent damage disability. Will they put me on disability? No. Will they help me fill my paperwork out? No. Will they help me fill my housing paperwork out for that? No. You know what they did? They paid for somebody else's house, same situation, and I got all their paperwork. 3 months down there in that hotel room. 3 months they paid. I think it was Sedacious, because I seen who Marlon Fullwider go down there and fill all their paperwork out. And how long did they stay at that hotel room under domestic violence? But you only helped me, like, Goalie's like, oh, we can't buy nothing for you. You know, we can't do this, can't do that. And I'm like, dude, you helped this woman out for 3 months. You know, like 3 months down there at the hotel, bought her clothes, bought her everything, you know. It was why? Because she wasn't speaking on your guys' entity, and she's kissing you guys' ass, and she was just going, oh yeah, this is what we're supposed to do. But me out speaking, you guys don't even help me, dude. You didn't even care that they gave my whereabouts. Some of you guys are like, you guys forgot that they even let Coon out. You guys forgot about the case. You guys forgot about the case. But I told those guys, and I put people on speakerphone. Everybody in that building heard people. I'm like, but what about me? I said, you know, I don't want to be like my stepdaughter on the wall. And they got mad about that. They're like, that's not your stepdaughter. I'm like, dude, I dated Blitz for like a fucking year and a half just because you guys didn't know it. She's just like my stepdaughter, dude. I went everywhere down here, and I was like, is this what you guys did to her when she got out? You know, like she didn't have no place to go. You know, I was pissed, man. That's all. What am I? I told him I don't want to be next to my stepdaughter, you know, down there. Oh, come on now, Tristan. They're like, I'm like, dude, man, someone raped my children. They freaking, what do you call it? They threatened to burn me alive in my house and my family if I told on them. And then they've been tormenting them. And they're related to fucking Jim Jones. And then half the people up there, like Jessica and all them, grew up but swore to God they didn't know him. Oh, we don't know him. We don't know him. We don't know him. And I was kept thinking, how come I kept forgetting? You know, like, why'd you just lie to us? Why would you lie about knowing him and his family? Something's up. I mean, hopefully freaking, you know, someone could do something, because Jim Jones is some shit. And Jessica, for you to put your brother down in an arrest pad, and that was the story. And who told me that? Tracy Patica told me that when we was down by Oakland down there at or by Vallejo by a basketball thing. She's like, yeah, man, ooh, I can't prove it, but man, that woman, she's evil. You know, she put my brother in the arrest pad, and I just hate her. And so I heard you guys' stories, you know, and it's like, come on now, Jessica, you're going to be up in arrest pad pretty soon, you know. And then with you coming in my house all the time, you never once talked about CPS. All you did was growl around about Brett this, Brett that, Brett this. And I said, get the fuck out of my house, bitch. I should talk about my fucking cousin. I go, he didn't do shit. I said, when me and Odge went up there to take Sal up there to, when Auntie Fern passed away and was taken up to Crescent City, we stayed there. Dude, those kids were more scared of you than they was Brett. Brett was like, dude, I feel stuck up here. I just want to go home. He goes, Odge is my witness. But you come down and want to talk shit and kiss our family's ass? You ain't shit, Jessica. You ain't shit. You was in town when my cousin committed suicide. You went over there, pushed us all out of the way. I'll have the same story as, oh, what this fucking sick-ass bitch doing here, man? Get the fuck out of here, I said. It's our family. I was mad for you being over there. Just because of how you talked about him. Our family are good people. You know, Brett's grandma, Auntie Fern, when she prayed for church, her anointing oil came out. And that wasn't my auntie by blood, but you know, that was his grandma. That was my Uncle Fitz's wife. When she prayed, anointing oil came out, and she was a healer. And she went around to church and did that. It's a story our family will always tell. But you still look down on the Joaquins. You look down on all our family. Dude, look what my auntie could do. Maybe if you guys were nice to Brett and was nice to my other family, dude, they'd be in church, you know, and give them like the opportunity to do that. They'd be in church preaching. Maybe Sal will have anointing oil coming out of his hands when he goes to church and preaches, you know. Maybe one of those other kids, you know. But that's when you do good, you know. Like that's what she was doing good, you know. That my auntie was a good person, and you guys made fun of all that too. And then you guys went around and made fun of how my Uncle Fit died. And you're like, oh, put why all around. And was going, why? You know that? George Downey came out with that song. And he sang that when they were bringing my uncle out on his death when he died. But you guys made fun of it. Going, why? You know? That was a sad song. It was a sad song for our ancestor that passed away. My grandpa, or my uncle. It was my great uncle, you know? And you guys made fun of how George sang for him. You guys got mad about Coyote handing his gear over to me. Jealousy. And just like OD said, he told me he sat there by ourselves over at the horse ranch. And he said, greed, envy, and hate is what's getting me, baby. He goes, you know what? And he was ready to leave. He didn't want that to happen to us. You know, and he has other kids out there. And the other ones you guys won't find. You guys won't meet them. And that's the one thing other people got jealous about too. They're like, well, that's our brother, that's our sister. Well, dude, no way in hell will you guys meet them. Otherwise, you would have met them just like I did. Just like I did. And I'm only supposed to tell only certain ones of my brothers where our brothers and sisters are. Not because they have some power or something, because he didn't want nobody picking on them and being mean to them. And he didn't want them to get hurt. You know, that was one of his main things, you know, of like settling down. Like, you know, well, I messed up, you know, but I'm settling down, take care of my family, but I have to go here and there, you know, to see my other kids. But I have my own time because I don't want to make my other family jealous or anything, but I have my own time for my own kids. And I got to go around with all the kids because he was my grandpa. You know, I had the little feet, you know. Got to go around, travel. We traveled to Pendleton, Oregon. We traveled up to Ruth Lake. Let's see where else we traveled. Every rodeo grounds there is to be, you know, I traveled with them. Oh, and then I cried all around because the Appaloosa horses are the one horses. They had little tiny ankles. And I was like, okay, now they're breaking them and stuff. So I was like, okay, I went to the association, the rodeo association and everything. And they didn't have those horses for a long time. They wouldn't let them be in the rodeo. And now when I look, they have bigger ankles. You know, they got a different breed or whatever. That's registered under me because I did that. Because my grandpa was OD, you know. And one time he even had to go to Disneyland with me. He's all like, and my dad's was all in the back too. Because they dressed me up as a clown and then they laughed at me. You know, the whole town did over there. And I'm just a ballin' and I was in trouble because, you know, when I come here, go to Covell, you have to be tough. But I was still a girl, you know. I still had feelings and I still lived the other life over there. You know, I was a girly girl too, you know, but I had to just stay tough. But geez, they all got in trouble for making me cry. We got to go to Disneyland. I got to see all the princesses and everything. Because it's like, it's a small world after all, you know. That was our favorite ride. It's a small world after all. Get you a picture? Me just little and Odia's hair all what you call it. And he has to sit next to me in a little tiny ride and I'm all, you know, and then my dad, he's all back there. We're all like, me and Odie's like flipping dad off like, what? You know, like hopefully dad can remember those stories, you know. And some of the stories I tell Uncle Aaron, he's all laughing all around. He's like, yeah, I remember, you know. Or like there was one with their dad. Let's see, who was it? It was my dad and Uncle Leonard, Uncle Leonard was driving an OD and they're coming around by the benches right there and he's all fried out and acid or something. And Dad's all, someone give me a sandwich or something. And freaking Uncle Leonard's all, I'll roll out and get it. Uncle Leonard rolled out. He was driving an OD. He's all, should I roll out too? So he rolled out, let my dad sit in the back of the seat, eat his sandwich. They ran into the fence, had to go fix it and everything. You know, that's the kind of stuff that they used to do back in the day. You know, I mean, we had fun. You know, and my kids, they would so enjoy him right now. You know, that was one of the reasons why I cried for him, you know, because I was like, man, if he was here, he'd take us out of that town. You know, and he would know what's going on with his son, Tiny. You know, because that's his son. You know, and he would know what's going on with me. You know, and that's why we had our getaway of our getaway. You know, when things got rough, we all headed to the valley. You know, we didn't want to live the gangbanger life. That was one of the things, too. It's why we came to the valley. You know, we could live a country life. But then jealousy started it. You know, so we slowly keep going back over to the valley. You know, we were all supposed to move back to the valley. That was our home. We were going back. We weren't going to stay in Covell, and we was leaving everybody behind. That was one of our plans. You know, and we were taking, like, everybody with us. We were going to go back. My dad was taking his family. Uncle Larry was taking his family. Uncle Mike was taking his family. Uncle Dave was taking his family. We were all leaving. You know? We were getting out, and then I don't know what happened. You know, I don't. You know, my uncle sat in that town for, 20-something years, never went out of town. And then in the last 2.5 years, he started busting out, man. My uncle went out of town. My Uncle Mike drove himself out of town. They started coming by the house. He's like, yeah, you know, I'm breaking free. I'm getting out, you know. And that's why he was like, we're going to go visit him. You know, he's like, he's got problem with his breathing, you know. He just lost his wife, you know, it's been a long ride, you know. And then with Edna McLean, you know, she was my godmother. I lost her last year. And everybody laughed about it. They laughed about it and they made fun of my Aunt Edna. You know, that my mom, they made fun of her. They made fun of the time that I spent with Odie. You know, they made fun of me. Telling me I hope to die like them. You know? I'm like, dude, you know, are you guys the one messing with my paperwork at the health center? Is that why none of my blood work or anything's coming back? You know, like, my blood work that I got screenshots that I sent on my phone, you know, to my other emails, it'll show that my white blood cell counts have been up. But the health center won't give me nothing, you know, like, talk to me here. And I told those guys, I told my family, I'm not going down there to ring a fucking bell. Did those bells ever work? No. Did we heal anyone? Did anyone live forever? No. You know? But you guys are so jealous up there of them. You talk mean about him. You know, like, what was the thing when I came in, Jessica, when you threatened to kill me? You said, I'm going to have my sister Teresa and Sweet kill you, you know? And you said that in front of Johnny Boy's woman. Or, no, she was just coming in. And then Melinda Lopez and Elizabeth was there. They said, oh, we don't want to get involved, Trista. We don't want to get involved. You don't want to get involved? This bitch just fucking threatened to kill me. Guess who was a witness? Melanie Freeman was a witness. Mel was a witness. You know what? You've been picking on her, making us stay apart too? Mel was a witness that you threatened to kill me. Jessica, you threatened to kill me. And then when we get to, and why they won't get the videos off from our federal court over there, and this is our ICWA director, my civil aid, and my domestic violence person. No, she runs all the programs. She holds all my cases for Covelo. So, let's see, where was that? What did they do? Let's see. And I hate that shit too, you know, like, and I told Auntie they'll do that when I start talking, because they don't want me to speak. They don't want me to tell the story, you know. And I'm like, okay, well, are you guys, is that how you guys are disciplining our kids down there? You know, it's like, you know, when the kids want to speak, you should be able to speak. You have a voice whenever you want to have a voice. You shouldn't be able to stutter all around. And that was one of the other things too that we were noted for. When we start stuttering, that's when someone starts bothering us. You know, and you're lucky our grandmas and then tagged us, you know. And like Marla told my dad, you know, and told her dad that, you know, that we all been tormented. I've been tormented so much. When I holler, she's there. She's my witness, her and Mel. Witnesses. And then Aunt Kathy, I believe Aunt Kathy's been traveling too. She wants to get Boo out. That's her son. And it's time for us to all step together and make statements, because like what happened here, is that what you guys did over there with Leonard Peltier? Because I bet we can track half of that, most of that town, or some of that town over there when that happened with Leonard Peltier. Jealousy, greed, and hate. Let Leonard Peltier out. He's done enough. He's trying to go home. I'm trying to go home too. You know that, Leonard Peltier? If you're out there and your family sees this, I try to go home too. I try to go home to make things better, and set me free too. Set me and my kids free just like you guys. You've been held long enough. And I've been held long enough, and they have me. Thank God for my mom. She's like, Trista, they said you only finished half your stuff. Dude, the lady that helped me, she got fired. She got fired for helping me. One got picked up by the FBI. She was working for the Manzanita place. She's all, Wendy has my song. Dude, the FBI picked her up fucking quicker than shit. Said she had charges. She looked like she was a big old blonde lady. She worked for Manzanita on the housing side, not the mental side. Because I didn't apply for the mental side, so I had to go in as an employee, representing them as a volunteer employee. That's how I got into lead and did my presentation. And they got all jealous about that. They scheduled my courts. They started picking on me. They did not want me to go over to the Senate in Sacramento and make a speech dedicating it to Kenny and Kenny to give him a good name. To give them a good name, Jessica. You guys care for them so much. Everyone's down there taking pictures, partying around at these chairs. But why not encourage me and be there to have a good name for Kenny and Kenny Whipple? But want them to have a bad spirit name? And thank God for Martin Martinez, because he was like, and his nephew laughed at him, come in, he's all, knock that spirit out. He's all, dude, I was like, wait a minute. I thought he was like, but it, like I said, it was a bigger picture. And thank God for Red Valley, because we're bringing Covalo's stuff out. Because there's a lot of kids out there that love me. They know I helped set up the first native AAU in Mendocino County. And I was a parent advocate, and we made enough for some of the kids to go over. Let's see, they bought their uniforms, they had all their stuff like that, and I worked with that program for almost 10 to 11 years with all those kids down here in Ukiah. And none of those, the only kids that we had with us that traveled with us was just our just our family. We didn't have too much of Covalo traveling with us because they were jealous. A couple of them did try to go down and be with Byrne. And I think Tracy took her kid down to be with Byrne. And me and Jade, we bet. They picked on us for that too. We're like, I bet they can't hang. I said, because we know how Byrne is down to business, Up there, they can't take the heat, Dude, they freaking ripped the kid off the team, and the whole time we're all sitting around making Indian tacos, and over in Covalo, there's me, Lidge, Andy, all our parents making Indian tacos. Dude, when they got mad at Byrne, they went up there because their daddy was sitting on the council and family, and brother-in-law and all them. Dude, they got their own little team, and they called it the something natives. Dude, they had all their rooms paid for. They had all their gas paid for. They had food, they had everything all paid for this tribe. But not for the 3 years that me and my kids traveled, and it's like, come on now, people. And then they all got mad at me and didn't even want to go watch their kids play. So their kids stayed with me for almost 2 years, Freaking they didn't want to watch them play because they lost over there. And I said, that's what Jocko taught me, it's like you can't get better unless you play someone better. So I told the girls, when we're going over there to lose. I'm putting you guys in some high brackets, man. You're going to go over there to lose. That's the only way you can learn to do moves and stuff is someone doing it against you. So the parents stopped traveling with us. None of the parents traveled with us. They wouldn't even give us no gas money. No gas. I think the only one who gave them gas money was Dove. Dove would send $100, And then her kid wouldn't have that much too because she'd be giving everybody's kids money for food to eat. Half the time some of those kids didn't even have no money to eat. And I'm like, and I felt like telling them, shit, you guys as parents sit up where, but they don't want to help you because you're traveling with me. But it's all right. Anyway, this will be going on my live YouTube. Hopefully, I don't get shot. I don't get beat. Nothing happens to my family up there for me speaking, and hopefully my family don't be like, oh, she's mental, because they'll do that. They'll run, the people up there will run to them and be like, oh, she's panicking, this and that. But I have Aunt Kathy Sanchez, Oliver Freeman behind my back. And if any of you guys went up there to talk to her or say anything, she's going to tell you she don't know. Because you shouldn't be talking about her baby anyway. You shouldn't be picking through being nosy or coming up talking about her baby. I'm her baby. Don't you get it, people? You ain't nothing that, Kathy. That's what you guys are mad about too. Because you couldn't be a part of her life. You didn't stay in San Francisco with her for like a month or so. That was me and Mel. We got to go stay down there all the time. None of you guys. And then for me and Aunt Kathy to be talking and then the tribe go off alarms. Was it warning? Was you trying to warn us? Was you threatening us? And then you guys want to walk around and be like, oh, Uncle Dovey this, Uncle Dovey that, man, Uncle Dovey would put you somewhere. Knowing that you did this to our family. And that you guys are doing that to his wife. And that his wife can't talk to his niece. And that his son is sitting in prison. Uncle Dovey would be pissed right now. He'd be very pissed. And he'd be standing behind me. And Uncle Dovey was my Uncle Harold's best friend. And like I vowed, I said, I'll shut that tribe down from there to San Quentin to Pelican Bay and everything in between in honor of my uncles. Because they were in there and arrested wrongfully. But everyone want to be nosy and laugh and have me run around looking stupid. But you guys don't want to stand up for something that makes right? That makes it right? Like I told you guys, I don't want you guys as fucking men. I don't want you guys as women. So quit fucking making me feel like that. I'm tired of you dumbass bitches, man. And when I get Lorancy in and I get her down and I talk to her with the cops, what the fuck you guys did to Lorancy, huh? Rumors flew all over that town, but no one wants to speak. I mean, she worked hard to go to college to get to what she had. Not only was she going to college to get to what she had adopted kids that she was raising, like Brittany Short, or Brittany, the one that works at probation over there, or parole. Lorancy raised her. And still went to college. And graduated with her, master's degree to be a teacher. Now she can't even work at that school. She can't get a job at the school no more. You just ruined her life. And how many other people's lives have you ruined? And our family, we step up and why we're registered. Because if our family didn't mess up, we stepped up and we said, hey, yeah, we fucked up. We fucked up and this is what's going on. We want to fix it because it's, we have no more control. We fucked up. We're registered to places, shit. We admit it. They call us all in, all family help. But you guys, it's been 2 years and you guys are still standing back and not doing nothing. I know dude would be ashamed of everybody. And Jessica, how dare you ever threaten me about talking about your dead family? Because you was never, ever, 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 ever related to OD. And that's why you threatened to kill me. For talking about your dead family on Facebook. You don't know OD? You didn't know him? You did not know him, Jessica. He was never your family. But that's why you threatened to kill me. Teresa, you didn't know OD either. He wouldn't have liked you. He had a proceed of a vision about you. You were no good. So he didn't like your parents either. He had visions. And he stayed away from those people. He was the medicine man. He perceived what was going to happen. Greed, envy, and hate by women. I mean, it's sad. And he said it too. He said, baby, that's what's going to try to take you out, he said. Same story my whole life. Same story I spoke my whole life. And look what happened. He proceeded. You guys better start speaking and making things right. If not, there's something going on. When they get mad, are they going to come bounce to here? What if you guys look wrong at their men or something in the store? Or what if the one of their men be like, oh yeah, look, I want that woman, I mean, that's what we want out and about. So, We're gonna get shit done, and I'll keep making videos. I'll keep making videos, you know, because my kids want to get out. They want to be free, you know. They want to make it somewhere. My kids are hella smart. Do you know all my kids graduated? They had a 4.0. Hannah had a 4.0 before she went with mom, and now her grades are going back up, you know. And I don't know how she's doing that or who's helping her do that. My kids graduated with honors. They were perfect attendance every single day. You know, I was, that's what kind of parent I was. Never did drugs for like, I think 15, 20 years, you know. Once in a while I went out to a bar. That's it. Hardly got in any trouble until people started coming in my house and picking on us. And we'll have videos of my daughter Jade where she's got stage and she's scared shitless of Jessica going through the window like that. When we pull through my dad's videos, we'll get them. And I wonder why my dad would even delete those videos or anything like that. Good thing he sent it off and those are tracked. There'd be no way that my dad would be recording something where we're scared and then it just goes away. But we'll have videos once they pull through and we get what do you call it, warrants and stuff for people's phones, for our videos, you know. And don't worry, my children out there, you know, my kids, you know, don't worry, you know, because what they have here, what they thought or made you guys do, that's not you guys. That's not you. So we will look forward and keep moving forward because I already have, like my grandma and them's video games they had, you know, they can get that stuck in there, you know, they could turn someone to a bad person, you know, and these guys know it. They know it and they laugh about it. You know, I have them laughing at me. They laugh and point. If they pull out like their Snapchats or their Facebooks or something, they actually videotape me homeless walking around down here with my baskets and passed it around. And they laughed at me. I was sitting down there. They had me in front of let's see, whose house was I in? One of those houses. I've been in my clothes for like 3 days, and they knew I was walking around. Dude, their kids was laughing at me and videotaping it, and they're making Snapchats about me and my children. So when they get a search warrant and they pull all their phones and they pull all their social medias, you'll see where they were making fun of all of us. Not just us. They did it to David Peters' daughter. That's why they was picking on us, because my daughter's the only one that stood up. Jade stood up, and they really started picking on all of us. Dude, and our lives went to fucking shit, man. Because they put David Peters' daughter, or not David, but it's Byron. It was Byron's daughter. My bad. Let me get that straight. It was Byron's daughter. Byron's daughter on Snapchat. And passed it around the whole town, and they were all laughing at her and making fun of her. Guess who went around and went to go fuck heads up? My daughter, Jade. And then everyone start picking, you know. I'm like, Shiloh, look what she's charged for. You know? Yeah, power to you. You stood up for your daughter, you know, but why the fuck you still in housing? Why you got a kid? You know, I was happy that you stood up for her, but, you know, like, did they pick on her that bad to make her pick on me? You know, and they split us apart? You know, like, something's going on. And and like, she's like my other sister. Her mom's married to my uncle, and they've been married for like fucking shit, 15, 20 years, you know. We never had no problems. Never had no problem. The other girls did, though. And their dad would bring them to Carlo, you know, would bring Teresa and Tony to wherever Shiloh was and fucking fight with her. Over John Cat and that one guy from Santa Rosa. Vince. Over John Cat and Vince. So, start thinking and we'll see and get things together, you know. Like, I didn't know some of these people knew stuff, you know. And like the one, like the tiger thing, they all had me looking at the cereal box saying the tiger, you know, where they can have they call them the Tony the tiger or whatever. You know, that ain't your stuff. You stole that from me. You don't have permission to use that and make friction move around. You stole it from me. The California raisins, Dad, you remember the California raisins? Well, they have Tony the tiger, you know, the things off the cereal boxes. That's what they do. They stole our shit again and used it on us. And that was one of the things why I couldn't hang out with everybody, because we had people envy and hate. And dude, we're registered with Ripley's, believe it or not, or the circus and shit like that. We weren't no special people. We're just regular old people like everybody else. But you guys want to get a holy moly and freaking, like greed. When we did our stuff, we had fun. It was about having a good old time. Not hurting no one. We didn't hurt no one. We didn't hurt nobody. Nobody. So Aunt Kathy, if the boys or anyone sees you, gets on YouTube or something, this is for you, Auntie, because we're gonna get your son out, and the boys are gonna get their dad out, because he's my brother. And so let's get a good lawyer, and let's get this going, because with what we have against the district attorney's office and what we have against the police station and what we have against Round Valley, Aunt Kathy, dude, Mel, freaking Marlo, dude, we're all gonna be rich, dude. We don't have to live lives, Gabe and your family, you guys ain't gonna have to live like that no more. And I went and got all the papers to start the lawsuits. You got to start it up. They give you a lawyer, and it's a process and procedure, And then what I want is I'm like, dude, just get my family out, put us in a hotel room, give us some money, feed us for like a month and a half so we can come and get this paperwork settled. Dude, and they'll speak. Get them out of Covelo, they'll be fine. They stay in Covelo, they get picked on. And then my uncle's in the hospital too, Same way when my aunt was down in the hospital too, my Aunt Mary in Asbel. And like I said, her best friend is Leonard Peltier's son. He did the bear group, I think. One of the bear groups at one of the colleges. It was either Redwood College or Humboldt State. Or we went back somewhere. Anyway, we traveled around with the Unity group. And the Unity was for high school, but because my family was running it, I was little, so I got to go to all of them. So Leonard Peltier, if you get this, or if your son gets this, come find me. I'm in Ukiah, California, and my case will get you out. Send your family to come get me and my family.